Did it.
Yeah, dude, shoot that thing. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. For the Yankees. To the Yankees winning the World Series. Bam. Bam. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So good news. Good news is I already pressed record, so we're already going. Episode 8. How do you like that? Let's just start chopping up this roster since it's pretty much already just about complete and rounded off. Maybe a couple more roster moves that really don't even really matter as much. Um, let's just go by position. I think is probably the best way to go. I've got this thing all mapped out here. If we start at the catcher position, taking a good. I also got numbers up here on my other screen if we need them for reference.
Okay.
Uh, at the catcher coming out of that, we did hear yesterday, JC Escara is your backup catcher going into the year, which is, I mean, this spring he hit 314 with 3 homers. With
No, he had a great spring. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
he's. I mean,
definitely
other than
deserving. Um,
yeah, I mean, I just wanted Ben Rice to be that backup catcher, but I mean,
well, right now it
we'll
looks
see.
like
We'll
Ben
see.
Rice
We'll
is the
see.
starting DH on opening day.
I
So
know we'll see plenty of Ben Rice this
yeah,
year, so I'm not really too mad about it.
yeah. So that's like that's your catchers, which all 3 of them hit well. All 3 of your catchers had great springs. Looking like we might get leadoff Wells, which would be a little freaky to start the season. Um, Going to first base. We'll go rip through this real quick. First base Goldie with the back injuries, so a little bit of a question mark there. As long as he's healthy, he's gonna have a way better season than last year.
Absolutely,
Um,
yeah. I mean, it's a friendly ballpark for him. I
yeah,
mean, he's still 2 years removed from an MVP. I mean,
yeah,
can't let a down year, one
yeah.
down year, just completely derail him. When I mean, he's going into a much better situation, I think, this year.
That too. I feel like my expectations might be a little too high for him, to be honest. I'm just expecting
Well,
him
I
to be
think,
way better than
I,
last year, just out of the
well,
rip.
I think our expectations are like that because mine are too.
Yeah,
I think it's because the Yankees absolutely need it,
yeah,
especially
that too.
when you know Stan starting off with the DL, and then I guarantee you, Aaron Judge is going to be, the 180 batter we all love to know in, late March, early April, like he seemingly always is, at
Yeah,
least for the last 3 seasons. So you got to anticipate that. So I mean, we kind of need it. I mean, we need him to at least be a dependable bat
yeah,
for
and
very
he's
early
had a
on.
good spring too. So like aside from the little back flare up, he had a good spring. He had a promising spring. It was just that one little
Yeah.
back hiccup was a little scary. Then obviously also at first Rice already kind of went over that catcher. He's gonna be. I think both of us gonna think he's gonna have an unreal season.
I mean, I think that. I mean, what's he 23 years old right now? Still, I mean, hopefully by age 25 or 26, you're looking at the future of first base, and I mean, obviously, can't anticipate Goldschmidt being there, or even if he is, not to be at
Yeah,
nearly the same level that
well,
we could. I mean, even expect him this year, which I mean, we'll see what happens, but I mean, he's very professional when it comes to his play discipline's very above his years. I'd want to say. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of his first at bats, even when he first got called up, were very professional at bats. And I mean, it's only gotten better, honestly. And I mean, we might be a little biased because we went to the 3 home run game, but
yeah, no, but even before that game, I mean, it's just you don't really see kids come up that way and take at bats like that.
definitely
It
not. I
was
mean,
it was
yeah,
very shocking to see Rice. That was the one
four
thing.
or five pitch at bats. I mean, at the minimum, which I mean, you love to see from somebody that young.
Yeah, I mean that was like the most impressive thing. It wasn't even that like week of power that we got out of him. It
Yeah.
was really the plate discipline. Um, Moving into our middle infielders at second, short position, third. I guess we'll group them all together pretty much because besides Jazz Volpe up the middle, it's kind of a question mark. Who's going to back up who's third base with DJ starting on the IL. Looks like Waldo's probably going to be the starting third baseman as well.
Which I mean, I'm fine with for as long as it needs to be. I mean, unless
Yeah,
let's say, they're thinking going into the year that adding, value at third base through the deadline, or whether it's not. I don't care if he plays 60 or 65 games before the deadline at third base if he needs to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I'd also love to see Peraza get a lot more at bats, give him a decent shot. I mean, this kid was starting in an ALCS game at shortstop 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'd 2, 3, however fucking long it's been now.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it looks like gonna be him and Pablo Reyes behind him, which also interesting. Pablo Reyes, another really good spring, 326 and 43 at bats this spring, 2 homers. Not a bad spring for Pablo Reyes. See how he comes out the gate. He's also another contender to maybe play some third. I don't know how much third he's really played in his career, but anyways.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, I mean, he's too good of a defensive value to not have Peraza playing at least some games. I mean, you can't just have him ride in AAA for, I mean, this year, especially when it's kind of, he's been posted as one of the Yankees' top prospects for, I'd say, the last 3 or 4 years now, and has played and has showed flashes playing very well. But, I mean, it's been very crowded at third base for the last couple of years, whether you're talking about Donaldson or just other random talent that they've had there. But, I mean, it's time's kind of running out for Peraza at this point. So hopefully you see him play and
Get some
play,
bats.
play in variety too.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him be that guy that dances around the infield this year, but we'll see what happens. Moving on to the outfield. Looks like it's obviously going to be Dominguez, Belly, Judge, left to right, and then Grisham being the 4th outfielder on the bench. I guess real quick thoughts on Dominguez. Also, is like the biggest thing I'm about to say about Dominguez with this whole lineup besides Judge is that you don't really know what we're getting out of like any of these guys from Wells down. You really don't know exactly. Like there's really the high low side for all these guys is it's up in the air.
It's very slippery slope. I mean, we could be looking at, that early June to kind of early July run where, the lineup you had JD Davis batting 4th at some points, just like, you kind of look at the lineup and just kind of cringe. You know what I mean? Carlos Narvaez playing last year.
Yeah, definitely don't want to see too much of that this year.
I mean, I don't want to see the rapid changes of, Ben Rice leading off, Ben Rice batting cleanup, Ben Rice, batting 7th within a matter of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where they kind of fucked up. I mean, obviously, injuries do happen, but
it's baseball.
That amount of drastic change at the professional level, I just don't think is prosperous or sustainable for, we saw it weeks at a time where, the Yankees had one of the worst Julys I think they've ever had last year. And it was due to just so much switching throughout the lineup day by day.
Yeah, they're really going to need some I think if a handful. If you get decent season out of Dominguez, step up from Volpe, a little bit of a step up from Jazz, entering his prime window per se.
I think
probably entering.
I'll give you 4 here. I think if you can have Judge and Bellinger be the 2 and 3 that are, out of this world, especially how good Bellinger's been playing throughout the spring.
Yeah.
And obviously you just got to depend on Judge having another monster year, which, it's not like I don't have any confidence in him to do that again. You know what I mean? Like, it's still one of the best hitters I've ever seen. But, those 2 hitting exceptionally well, and then you getting a serviceable year at a Goldschmidt, which you definitely can, because that's just he's playing in a hitter-friendly ballpark for 81 games of the year. And, another one in Dominguez where you just need Dominguez to, he's, again, showed great flashes at points, but, last year he was thrown into that early June to early July, slate where he was getting put in clean up against Tariq Skubal in the Little League World Series game, like massive moments. And, obviously he's 22, 23 at the time last year. Yeah. Very tough to live up to, facing Tariq Skubal and, his Cy Young stuff.
On one day call.
Yeah, like within the span of 24 hours. Hopefully, you're not going to see any of that, kind of the waiting around with Dominguez, to bring him, because he's up, you know what I mean, whether we like it or not. So, hopefully he just figures it out. And, if he gives you 260, 25 home runs and, hopefully a better glove than what we've seen during the spring, that's more than fine. That wins the Yankees 90 games.
Right. I think the big thing with Dominguez is just getting out hot, right? Because if he cuts out to that first month and it's brutal, You know, you're gonna tune into
Yeah.
WFAN. You're gonna hear the big
He
calls.
was thrown into the ringer. I mean, during a down stretch, we
Right.
needed him to perform really well, and he didn't. But I mean, it's not like we gave him any slack for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And I again think the big thing is just getting out early, getting out hot, just so like he's not off to that cold start, and then the rest of the season is just the conversation of him figuring it out. So just coming out, proving it right away, he can do it, and then let the season kind of have its ups and downs from there.
Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
you like that?
You like
Love
that
that.
notifications?
Freaking notifications knocking over your phone.
Get off my shit, dude.
Unbelievable. Yeah, all right. So that's it for the lineup. Move on to some pitching here. Since fucking half the rotation's hurt, more than half of it's hurt going into the season. Right now, our rotation, what it looks like it's gonna be 1 through 5. I mean, obviously Freed being like your obvious real ace. They're looking towards now that
Yeah.
Cole's done for the year. So it's looking like Rodon, Freed, Stroman, Carlos Carrasco, and then Will Warren to round it out the rotation, which is a little scary start of the year. It's not the most promising rotation, but again, has a lot of upside. You know, if Rodon
I mean, it
turn
has
on
a lot of upside, but I mean, going back to last year when you started out last year with Nestor or Carlos Schmidt as your or not Carlos Schmidt, fucking dude, am I fucking stupid? Oh my god, Clark Schmidt, holy shit,
yeah.
Clark Schmidt is your 5, where he showed a lot of promise earlier. I mean, he was 2 or 3 2 years ago out of the gate, and he was rocky, but last year he was a lot better.
Yeah, he'd be.
Especially,
I guess he'd be wow. I guess he'd probably be the 5, but I'm
yeah,
saying you're looking at the rotation if it was healthy. It'd be Cole, Freed,
yeah,
Rodon, Heel,
yeah.
Schmidt. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a little scary having Warren be the wild card here out of the
Yeah,
rotation. I mean,
big
Carlos
spring training.
Carrasco's old, but like I mean
I
it's
for whatever reason I've got some weird confidence he's gonna come out,
well,
shove,
I mean because
give
he's
us some
proven it
quality
before. You know what
starts.
I
Yeah,
mean? Especially when people were. I mean, I'd say everybody was down. I mean, even us were down on him when we heard that he was going to be added. I mean, we weren't expecting him to give us really any major pitching whatsoever, and then
yeah.
lo and behold,
Here we
look what
are.
happened.
He's probably gonna be the 4 starter.
Yeah,
A
I
little
mean that's
wild.
something we're not expecting, but I mean he's also a guy who's done it before, who's shown that he's been a legit pitcher for a number of years. I mean at least serviceable, if not. But I don't know. I mean again, that's also the blind confidence we're gonna need to kind of have if we want to have a good year.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean starting
I
off
think
with
I
two
think a,
very
I think a lot of
major.
Yankee fans are just weirdly confident in this rotation, just because of like what they've been able to do in the past with Matt Blake, and I'm weirdly confident
Yeah,
that this rotation will be able to get it done. I mean, there's gonna be probably points where it's like, damn, really wish it was a Cole start, but it's baseball.
yeah,
So
but I mean they also proved last year. I mean large part due to Luis Heel, obviously, but I mean you're looking to get him back in about June
right,
this year.
yeah, Memorial
But
Day-ish.
I mean, Stroman and Schmidt before he went down. I mean, they both pitched well beyond the means that they were expected to pitch that year too. I mean, you look at Stroman getting the first home star last year and giving you like 7 inning 1 run ball that I don't think any of us really expected. So I mean, and yeah, he has kind of had a little bit of a shaky spring, but he's also shown strong flashes, I guess you could say. But he's going to have to do that again. That's also something that we've kind of put on him for the last year. This, intense pressure of being honestly the 2 guy at some points
Yeah, I mean,
during last year.
I mean, some points last year he was like the 1 before Cole came
If
back.
yeah, if there's
So
anything that you can say what you want about Marcus Stroman, but he has been put through basically every situation by the Yankees standards, but also by the Mets and the Blue Jays. He's been put in every pressure packed filled
yeah,
situation
and
rotation that you could even think of.
And he does tend to start seasons off pretty hot. I mean, he did last year. He was one of the more reliable guys through the first couple months last year before he started to fall apart. So
Yeah.
will certainly take a couple good months of Marcus Stroman to get us to the deadline or whatever it may be that they end up with another starter.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're
Or
gonna have to
guys come
play
back
this.
from injury.
You're gonna have to look at this season as like milestone spurts, almost in a sense, where it's like you're not. I mean, obviously you're thinking about the end goal, and that's always to win a World Series at the end of it. But when you have the issues that the Yankees have right now, whether it's injuries or inconsistency in the bullpen or inconsistency in the rotation, whatever it's going to be for the next, 80 games or 70 games at least without Luis Heel, who's, I mean, could be our number two coming straight back. Hopefully he has a good rehab and comes back strong and better than ever. But, I mean, you have to kind of look at it at like, all right, 20 games. Let's just worry about the next 20 games, 10 games, 5 games, 3 games,
Yeah,
and take it day by day at a time. And, at least break it down into, let's say you lose 5 games in a row. It's like, all right, well, let's worry about the next 5 and let's not worry about the next 80 because of this 5-game skid.
Yeah, I think, obviously Aaron Boone has a lot of mixed emotions when it comes to Yankee fans, but I do think the one thing he does really well is taking a situation like the Yankees have this year and just next man up, believe in the guys.
Yeah, and just,
next man up.
Juicing the absolute most that you can out of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he's going to have to do.
Certainly have the confidence in Boone to do that, so I am happy that we do have Boone coming into this year the way that we're kind of approaching this season here in 2 days. Last spring training game's tomorrow at 1. So we're getting close here. 3 days, 2.5 now by the time.
Yeah.
Yep, getting real close. Bullpen will breeze over real quick. Looks like the 6 guys for sure that'll make the team. Right now, that's kind of like the one spot that's up in the air. Looks like the 6 will be Williams, Weaver, Hill. Hamilton's actually going to start the year on the IL. Cruz, Leiter Jr., and then yesterday they signed Ryan Yarbrough, which is a nice little pickup. So kind of go.
Yeah, I mean, different arm slot, weird arm slot, which I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing that, I mean, I think I just might be spoiled thinking about Aroldis Chapman for like the last 5 years, even though, we all know how that ended. I'm not saying I want Aroldis Chapman back, but it does seem like there isn't really like a fireballer among those 6. I mean, Hamilton averaged 96 on his fastball. That's decent to good, I'd say.
Yeah,
but I mean, Leiter's not throwing heat. He's only at around 93. Weaver's only at around 95, which is great. I mean, that's good. I mean, that's
95 like top.
Yeah, but I mean, that's starting to become the average, fastball that guys see 7 to 8 innings from a ace starting pitcher at least, or I mean, any regular relievers averaging around 94 to 95 on their fastball now. So, I mean, the only thing I wish I don't know where they'd get it, but some sort of fireball, just a guy who can top it around 98, just so you can plug in for about 5 or, 3 at bats, obviously what you need to do now. But I just feel like they're kind of missing that spark. And I kind of I get PTSD kind of from the fact that, you put in Tommy Canley in game 5 or 6 of the World Series, where obviously he only had his one main pitch, but I mean,
had change up.
Yeah, just a change up. I mean, which obviously, I hate that. I love Tommy Canley. I mean, obviously he's going to do really good things for the Tigers. I think he's going to be a great, pickup for them. But that's not a guy that I want to be trotting out in game 5 of the World Series. When you got the best hitters on the planet on the other side of the field, Shohei Ohtani. I mean, you can't pitch a guy like Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman back to back with a guy like Tommy Canley, which I feel like kind of handicaps yourself in association. Like, that's why I'm kind of glad that Canley's gone, because I mean, I think you need another guy with a wider.
Yeah, no, and I think they'll get that at the deadline, which I think they'll get another starter too. Hopefully it's Sandy Alcantara. That'd be sweet. But dreaming here a bit. And obviously go out and get a reliever. I think that's probably what's going to happen at the deadline. All right. Fucking season predictions. Just got a team MVP, a team Cy Young, best reliever, and the biggest surprise. Starting with team MVP. I feel like there's like only one guess for this. Judge.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
All right, how about team MVP besides Judge?
I think that's even pretty obvious too. I think it's Cody Bellinger. I mean,
I don't know.
Cody Bellinger. I mean, do you agree with that or no?
I think I'd go with Austin Wells, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if they do continue the leadoff Wells, which it looks like it's going to, I could see that argument. But I think them bringing in Bellinger and then immediately naming them the number 3 hitter is
in the spring he's had, yeah.
Yeah, kind of huge. And I mean, if we could get like, I mean, not MVP belly numbers, obviously, but like maybe close to a shell of belly MVP numbers, it'd be great. I mean, 25, 30 home runs in Yankee Stadium, you know, I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, if you want to do it on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, I guess you could do MVP is so skewed because, like, I mean,
just best player, Doss.
yeah, I guess I'm gonna go.
Belly, you said Belly. Wells. Team Cy Young. I'm gonna go with Carlos Rodon. Just big bounce back. Gonna need a big season out of him. He started to figure it out last year.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the obvious. For me, it's Fried. I mean, he has now been, named the de facto ace for the year. You know, I mean, after both of the top 2 arms in our, rotation going down, and him coming off an injury is also, something to look at. But you definitely need a big ace year out of Max Fried to even try to compete.
Right. All right. There's Cy Young, best reliever. Dreamweaver.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say Weaver too.
Yeah, a little worried,
just because of how lovable he is as a person.
Best Yankee.
But he also, I mean, completely revolutionized the bullpen and, the late inning heroics that he had last year.
The Yankees are not in the World Series without Weaver.
Stuff of legends, yeah, absolutely. And hopefully, we wish he could obviously rewrite history, but
yeah, no, we can't. Okay, so biggest surprise. I'm gonna go Volpe. I'm gonna go Volpe hitting at least 280 this year. At least 280. It's my biggest surprise. There's Volpe just taking a big step, not a little step, big step this year. All-star worthy Volpe.
I think my biggest surprise is that I think this rotation, even with missing all of these big arms, is still going to be ranked in the top 10 in baseball when it comes to runs allowed throughout the first 50 to 60 games of the year.
Yeah, last year kind of deal.
Last year they were among the top 2 in ERA and strikeouts,
all without Cole.
Without Cole. So I mean,
why not?
Yeah, I mean, you need a Matt Blake here.
Yep. All right, and then I got 2 over-unders. Oh, the Yankee win total right now on FanDuel is 88.5. And I think there's absolutely no fucking chance the Yankees win less than 88 games. So
yeah, I think that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like it's free money. I mean, granted, 2023 they won like 83 games. I think that was the final total.
Yeah,
that wasn't great. But I think over 88's easy. And then also Judge's home run total is 47.5. And I feel like it's only there because of injury.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess 54.
54. I think he's healthy. I think again 58. Some. I don't think he gets to 62, but close.
Yeah.
And then just to wrap this up real quick, take a quick look at the Brewers series. Obviously, we don't have like any previous games or anything to talk about yet. But Thursday is opening day, 3:00 start. We're getting Rodon versus Peralta. Game 2 Saturday. It's looking like it's going to be Fried versus Nestor Cortez. A little interesting. Could be a little interesting matchup there.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be there.
Yeah, we might be there on Saturday. Although I checked the weather, it's supposed to be crappy, so maybe.
Still, that's all right though.
And then Sunday, Stroman Savell. Looking like what the matchups will be. Should be a fun little series. Brewers are looking to have a nice little season again themselves. I think it could be a fun way to open the year. There's not really much to say. Just
I mean, we'll see. Let's go.
Excited.
Let's go. Get ready to back. Yeah, ready to get back there. Ready to see the Yankees exceed expectations.
Yeah, and hopefully we're doing this every week. Got a bunch of videos at the stadium coming this year. That's the plan. Yep. Doing this at least every Sunday is the plan. So, like, subscribe. If there's a single soul watching this part of the video, go Yanks.
Yeah, go Yanks, baby.